All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Beer versus Beer and Aaron Go Bra. We've got another St. Patrick's Day special for you since St. Patrick's Day was recent. And so today I want to compare two beers that featured previously, both Irish Dry Stouts, but I wanted to pit them against each other because I think they really are more comparable than with Murphy's, which they both went up against before. So first we've got O'Hara's Irish Stout Nitro, 4.3%, and Sullivan's Black Marble Stout coming at 5.1%. I know I've got Guinness glasses. We'll turn those around for now. See how this goes. Let's get right into it. I'm excited to see which one of these wins. So I'm really not sure. I'm not going to do the hard pour this time. I'm going to try a little bit different way of doing it today. Just going down the side. Give it a little bit of a pause. See that nice cascading. It's really nice. I wonder if I should do this with an Irish accent. What do you think, lads? Probably not. Probably just offend people more than anything else. But anyway, I'm excited for this. As I've said before, it's one of my favorite styles of beer. I think it's like the perfect session beer, low alcohol volume, by volume, but very drinkable. I don't know. I just think that this is one of the best styles out there for just enjoying having a good time without going crazy, which, is the better way to go, in my opinion. And look at that cascade. Both wonderful. So I don't want to do any spoilers, so spoiler alert. If you haven't seen my comparisons with Murphy's, you might want to see those first to avoid the spoilers. So I mentioned this a little bit in my last video where I compared O'Hara's with Murphy's, about sometimes one beer might be better as a one-off, but the other beer might be better as a session beer, and was defending myself with Murphy's, which beat both of these, which it still sort of boggles my mind that it did, because even now, after those experiences, I'm like, but I don't really see myself going for Murphy's unless there's nothing else like it available. Whereas O'Hara's and Sullivan's, I still desire to go out and get, which means either I was wrong, or I still just have this block in my brain where I can't think of Murphy's as anything other than a bargain stout. And maybe that's the truth. Maybe Murphy's is just better than I want to give it credit for. But the reality of it is, these beers are more complex. They do have, I think, more flavor. Again, for me, I think it's the bitterness. And for most people, I don't think that's an issue, but for me, it tends to be. And but I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm admitting that, to me, in my brain, these are still better than Murphy's, even though both times they competed against Murphy's, Murphy's won. So take that for what it's worth. I think these are worth getting, and definitely try them out. Okay, the O'Hara's, good Irish Stout notes. Also, it has a nice little punch to it. It's like sweet and punchy at the same time, which is a neat trick. Sullivan's, you get the coffee, dark roasted malts, similar to O'Hara's, maybe a little bit smoother on the nose and a little bit more chocolatey. For some reason in my brain, Sullivan's has a s'mores character to it. So whenever I'm thinking about Sullivans, the word s'mores comes to mind. Yeah, that scent is just something else. I don't know, that Sullivan smell is just amazing. Yeah, so I think the Sullivan smell is a little bit deeper and richer. So on the scent, I think Sullivan's definitely takes the cake. Let's go in and see, shall we? Very good, very smooth. When I'm not going back and forth against Murphy's, it's not as bitter. I mean, you can tell the bitter is there, and I know in my head that it is more bitter than Murphy's, but it doesn't bother me because I'm not going back and forth. And I was thinking about this after those episodes. So another reason Murphy's might have won was because, like, if you think about, if you get a dessert that's very tart, you're eating it by itself, it might be the perfect amount of tart. But if you're going back and forth with something sweet, then by comparison, the tart almost seems more tart than it would otherwise, and can undo your perception of the balance of the tartness. I think that might be what's going on when I do these smoother beers with more, a little bit more bitter beers. And I'm wondering if that's actually affecting it to where it's the side-by-side is what's making it feel like it's too bitter, when in reality by itself it's not. So take that into consideration as well. Yeah, I really like the O'Hara's, and despite the Treehouse Brewing's review of it, I don't think it's overly butterscotchy or buttery, at least not to me. Maybe some other people would think it is, but I don't think so. I think it's absolutely delicious. All right. Sullivan's Black Marble Stout. Wow. Yeah. I would say the O'Hara's is smoother. The Sullivan's definitely has more flavor, more of a punch. Just a lot of strong flavor, but it's very good, still very smooth. About equal bitterness, I'd say. Yeah, that dark roasted character, it's almost perfect when it comes to that. Coffee, definitely get some coffee out of that. Man, what a great pairing. Can't go wrong with either of these. Wow. That O'Hara's is it's just really smooth. Wow, next to the Sullivans, it's reminding me a little bit more of Murphy's and Guinness, where there's some bitterness, but it's very mild until a few seconds in, the bitterness starts coming out a little bit more, but very smooth. All right, I want to do this one more quickly. Let's see. Sullivan's, I think, is actually a little bit more bitter. You get this explosion of flavor that is just so delicious. It's like you get the bitterness right up front, but behind it you have this explosion of these great flavors that just, you know, it's just so enjoyable. that it's almost addictive, I'd say. All right, this one is hard because I like both of them for different reasons. Um, yeah, Yohara's is more sessionable. I'd say it's a little bit creamier, at least on these pours, and smoother. Still got a good dark roast character. But the Sullivan's is just something special about it. The flavors are very unique and identifiable. And yeah. I'm going to give it to Sullivan's. I just think it stands out more. And it is, like I said, it's more identifiable. Like I can tell that this is Sullivan's. If you pit this up against a bunch of other Irish Dry Stouts blindfolded, I don't know that I could say this is O'Hara's. This stands out as Sullivan's, and it's got this unique character to it that I just long for. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Sullivan's, and Slancha. See you next time.